And you are live, sir.
Thank you, James. And good afternoon, everybody. It is February 3rd, 5:16, give or take a minute. And I'd like to call to order the Anna Reynolds Project Building Committee. That's our regular meeting. And the first item of business is roll call. Jeff?
Yes, members are asked to signify their presence when their name is called. Mr. Camillo.
Here.
Ms. Rada.
Here.
Ms. Drazad.
He will not be with us, Jeff.
Right. Ms. Parati.
Here.
Ms. Dugan.
Here.
Mr. Wetzel.
Here.
Mr. Woods.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you, Jeff. Next item is public participation. We have nobody on the attendee side,
That's correct.
so we will move on. Take action on prior meeting minutes. We have one. Jeff put out the corrected minutes for the January 20th, 2022 meeting. If someone would like to make a motion.
Make a motion, to accept the meeting minutes of January 20th, 2022.
Second.
Thank you, Mike. And a second. Amy, is that you?
Yep.
Nod, yep, okay. Amy will second it. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Is there anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. And then we have take action on some invoices. Marnie, do you want to walk us through those? There's just a few, I believe. Can you unmute,
Actually,
Marnie, or no?
there are three. There's one
Yeah.
from Aqua Backflow Galiccio Plumbing, which was to scope the drain lines for $6,465.
Yep.
There was one from your commissioning agent, Innovative Engineering Services, for $1,972.50. And there was one from Castle Booze, which included a sub invoice, if you will, for $230.92 for printing from Advanced Reprographics for the TPZ presentation.
Yep, so I have reviewed all of those invoices and confirmed that they are, that work has been done in accordance with the contracts and recommend them all for payment.
Okay. So I entertain a motion that we approve these invoices for approval for payment.
Make a motion, to approve these invoices for payment.
Thank you, Michael. On a second. Who was that? Bye, Jamie?
Kim.
Jeremy, is that you?
Kim.
Jim. Who did I?
Kim.
Raise a hand. I can't see.
That was Kim.
Oh, Kim. I'm sorry, Kim. So a motion is made and seconded. Is there any discussion on these invoices? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Is there anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, everyone. Next item is architects update. Jen, are you on the call? Yep, you are. Jen and Paul.
Yes, good evening. We just have a few things to update you on tonight. One is the furniture inventory has begun. We went out, geez, it might have been the 25th, I'm not sure, but, and we're scheduled to visit the school again on Tuesday. So we're hoping to wrap up the physical inventory of things on Tuesday if possible. And then we do our analysis to see here how it aligns with what you really needed in each classroom going forward, and how it affects how it could affect the budget if we needed to scale back from doing all new. So that's well underway. Recently, our focus has really been on getting to the state review, the Office of School Construction Grants and Review. That meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, February 9th. And there's a lot of paperwork, forms, documentation, sign-offs that have to happen. So we've really been making that our priority. Thank you to those that have helped with forms and signing and information. I greatly appreciate it. Jeff, thank you. And we also just yesterday received some additional comments from the town engineer regarding the site. Not too many things, but we're looking at those and addressing them as quickly as we can so that we can provide responses. We did also have a commissioning agent report, I believe, since the last time we spoke, and those comments, they were pretty minor, but they've all been addressed as well. And then we also, this might be stealing some of Tom's thunder later, but we did have a very productive and important meeting with the fire marshal and building official regarding temporary construction, phasing, how that works on the site, how it works in the building, and temporary egress of all the occupants during construction, to make sure that we're on the same page, that they, we wanted to let them have some input, obviously, and if they had any concerns with how we were egressing the building and how we were breaking up the construction zones, we wanted to make sure we heard from them and addressed any of their concerns, because obviously safety is the most important here. So that was a great meeting. There were a few comments, and we're getting those addressed, and we're going to set up an additional meeting with them and the school district so that the school district is on board too. All this is in preparation so that we can share more detailed information that's been vetted already with the building committee, so that you can see more detailed information as far as phasing and egress goes. And that's it for the moment. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to address them.
Anybody have any questions for Jennifer? No? Okay, we'll move on to owner's project manager update. Marnie?
All right, thanks, Steve. Similar to Jennifer, I don't have too many things to discuss today. Been continuing updating the project budget as invoices come in and are approved and processed. Jennifer and Tom DeMoro from Newfield and I have also continued our, and Jim Giuliano have also continued our weekly pre-construction schedule Zoom calls where we go through the activities on Tom DeMoro's schedule and make sure that we are achieving all of the milestones. I'm happy to report that we are. So our next big milestone is next week when we go to the state for our plan completion review meeting, PCR meeting. This is a big milestone where we also get sign-offs from the superintendent of schools, from Steve Woods, from all the town departments based on their review of the construction documents. And we sit with the state and review the final construction documents in detail in order to get their approval for us to go out to bid. So that again is, I think, for the 9th next week. And our next milestone after that will be to put the project, or for Newfield to put the project out to bid at the end of the month. So all efforts are working towards those two goals, the PCR meeting and the time when bids will actually go out for subcontract work. I've also been communicating back and forth with Jeff Barron for a couple additional consultants that we need on the project. So because of our wetlands area, the DEP requires that a consultant monitor the stormwater runoff to make sure it's not affecting the wetlands. So I'm putting together an RFP for qualified firms to give us pricing for that. Those are usually once a month visits. Actually, I think they're once a week, and then after, I think 24 hours after each significant rain event, the consultant has to come out and take a look at the wetlands. The cost for that consultant is in our budget. And we are also in the process of getting our structural engineer on board to provide special inspection coordination services, and that's required per building code. Again, that's also in our project budget. And last but not least, the materials testing firm that will be on site testing things like the strength of the concrete, the welds on the steel, compaction of parking lots, and utility backfilling trenches. That firm will be retained using the hourly rates from the state bid list. So there are 4 firms that we've worked with, and I think some of you have worked with actually on your town hall project. So Jeff and I are working towards getting that person also on board to be able to start work in June when the project begins. And again, all of these costs are in your project budget, and they're covered. So if anyone has any questions on those, please let me know.
Any questions for Marnie? I have one, Marnie. Who's the firm we're going to use for the deep inspections, after the weekly
Yeah.
or after the events? Who are we
Yep,
using?
I believe Jeff has indicated it would be Tri-State
Tri-State?
testing, yes.
Yep, okay.
Okay, and then the special inspections coordinator, we're gonna use our own, not our own, we're gonna use the structural engineer that is currently working on the project.
And Tri-State will even do the DEP ones for the stormwater? No. Who will that be?
No, we're gonna have to go out to bid for those services, Steve.
Okay.
So they don't provide that
Yeah,
kind of service.
I didn't think they did. I just wanted to be
Yeah.
sure. All right,
Yep.
so we'll have to go out to bid. We can't
Yes.
piggyback off of something that's on the state bid list already, or?
No, I haven't seen any firms on the state bid list that provide that. It's more of an
Okay.
environmental kind of service.
Yeah, I mean, I know Fuss and O'Neill does it on a regular basis.
I mean, it's quite a significant amount of money because of the time frame of the project. So I've allocated 47,000 in the budget for that. So I would really, hope that, maybe we could do a little better if we competitively bid it.
Okay. Anybody else with any questions? I don't see anybody's hand up. Okay, Marty, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move on to the construction manager's update. Tom?
Good evening. Thanks, Steve.
Yep.
So just not to keep repeating everything, but we're working on, with the team on getting the documents ready for the PCR meeting. Working heavily now on getting into the details of the bid packages, the phasing. And if I can, Steve, can I just throw up the schedule for a minute?
Yeah, you should be able to share. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, it's up, Tom.
Are you seeing it? Okay.
Yep.
So This is, I think I updated this since our last meeting, but really not much has changed. We're right in this area right here. So we're just getting the local sign offs. The next activity would be the town council meeting on the 8th for the preliminary presentation of the documents for their approval to bid, hopefully on the 22nd. And the PCR is on February 9th. So everything is going as planned. If everything stays the way it is, we should be out for bid here at the end of the month, February 28th. So
Okay, let's hope so.
if there aren't any questions, that's really all I have for today.
Any questions for Tom? I have a couple, Tom. How are we with the phasing plan as far as construction? Are you comfortable with where you are now and how you're going to sequence around the building?
Yes, we're in good shape. We're just finalizing it. We had that meeting with the fire marshal and building official, which was key. There was a couple of revisions, more so with temporary egress and so forth, not really anything major on the phasing. So yeah, that's coming along nicely.
That's good.
We'll be going over that with the school on, I think, next week, and then presenting to the staff on the 15th.
Okay. And I'm assuming that while we had a third-party review for the plans for the town, even though the town still needs to sign off, I'm assuming the inspections will be done by the town forces. Is that correct, Tom? Is that how you understand it moving forward?
Yes. Yep.
As far as whatever is required by the fire marshal? Or
Yeah. The only thing that,
Yeah.
the third-party reviewer is kind of out of it after the permit.
Yeah, so
application.
they're done now, right?
Right. And then the town officials will take over.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Anybody questions for Tom or anybody else? If not, we're going to move to any other business pertinent to the committee, which will be our next meeting.
Your next meeting is going to be on the 17th of February.
Yep. So put in your calendars if you haven't already, 17th. We should know at that point, Tom, and Marnie, where we are with the state and the PCR, that we should have the results. They'll usually take like 7-8 days. Is that what it is? 6-7 days or 8 days? And is that as detailed of a report and review as the last one was? I mean, literally page by page, you're going through it. Is it something that's like 3-4 hours? Is it longer?
Yes, hours. I don't know if that question was posed to me. I'm sorry, but
It's kind of
It
just
is.
posed to whoever wants to answer it. You've
Yeah,
probably done it the most.
it's a long meeting. So yeah, there's 83 items on their checklist. So we do go one by one. And yeah, I anticipate it will be a few hours long. It's possible he may ask for a follow-up meeting. He might just do documentation, he meaning Bob Selmer, may just review like forms and documents, like 8.5 by 11 type documents and reports and things. And he may ask for a separate meeting to go over the plans like he did the last time. But we'll see. I'm kind of, in it for the day, and we'll see how far he gets.
Okay, well, I mean, they're obviously a partner in this, so they've got whatever they've got to say, we have to listen to. Thank you. Jeff, anything else for us?
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. I will go to public participation.
Still no one there.
Yeah, there still is nobody with us. Okay, comments by members. Anybody have anything they'd like to say before? These meetings are going quick now, but they will not be going as quick once we actually start construction. There'll be decisions for us to make along the way, especially when we final it down to when the bids are in and before everything gets awarded. It will be a hectic time, probably for a month and a half span. So we'll have 3 or 4 meetings that'll probably last much longer, and greater detail facts will be presented to us. So. Okay, with that, I guess a motion to
We've
adjourn.
got Amy's got her hand up.
Oh, go ahead, Amy. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I just wanted to quickly say thank you for presenting to the Board of Ed meeting last week, Mr. Woods and Mr. Smith. It was a wonderful presentation. You guys did a great job.
Thank you,
Thank
Amy. I think
Thank you.
Mr. Smith stole the show. That's for sure. He did a wonderful job. I think they're going to put him on the road now.
Thank you.
He's going to be the spokesperson for this project. Okay,
It's a lot of
everybody.
work.
So I just need a motion to adjourn by someone.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, by Counselor Camillo. We don't
Second,
need we don't actually need a second, but that's fine.
Okay.
And all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 And I'm assuming nobody's opposed. Okay, thank you, everybody. Good night and see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.